Hey guys, take two. I recorded this yesterday, but unfortunately the file was corrupted and I'm not a computer genius, so I could not fix it. But I do have some extra info to give to you guys. So anyway, I had a long weekend. My work week was pretty normal, but Friday I got a call from my father saying that he had been in an accident. He's a logger, and he was cutting down a tree, and it was one of those things where the tree didn't cooperate, and it clipped him in the back and in the head. And he sent me a picture, and he had um, like a busted face, and then I couldn't tell if he had cut his ear or if he was bleeding from his ear. And I was really worried because the last time he got hit like really bad by a tree, he had a brain bleed, a broken jaw, and a bunch of other stuff. So I was really concerned about his head. Um, Anyway, so he was up by Chicago, which is about 4 hours from me, and him being the pain in the butt he is, drove all the way back home because he said he wanted to be here closer to his kids in case, something was really bad. He would be able to be home with us. He told me he thought he broke his arm and that his back was a little sore, so I was like, okay, well, he sounds like he's in pain, but he's not, gonna die on me. So, I get off work and mom calls me and she's like, hey sis, you need to come up here, dad's not doing so hot. And I was like, okay. So I drove the hour up to the hospital and I get there about the time he did actually, and he had broken what they said was his back on his thoracics, like the top half of your back, and his scapula and his arms fractured in like little places. So they're like, we're gonna transfer him out. His back was like barely swollen when I got there, and it was like massive when they were about to send him out. They said they were concerned about fluid buildup around his spine, putting pressure on nerves and stuff and causing paralysis and things like that. So the EMT pulled me aside and he was like, hey, go ahead and leave. I'm probably going to fly around you. He's not going to like die on you. I don't think anything like that would happen, but he's pretty serious. So at that time, we knew that was broken and like in 6 places that they could tell in his back. So we get to the other hospital, which is a turd. Anyway, so we get there and we say we're here for Williams, and the receptionist said, okay, we'll tell him you're here. And next thing we know, this priest is coming out and he grabs our hand and like takes us to this quiet room. And he's like, this is where we put people for trauma. He's talking right now, but he is in a lot of pain and he's broken in a lot of places. This is just better for the doctor to come speak with you. And we're like, what the fuck? Last we knew he was like broken, but gonna be all right. So we were paranoid, and like all I could think of was, oh my gosh, they got the x-rays back and he has internal bleeding, and oh my god, what's gonna happen to my dad? So we're in there for about 2 hours. He keeps bringing us like coffee and he's like, can I do anything for you? And we're like, you can tell us what's going on with my dad. So finally this nurse comes in and she was like, hey, are you here for Williams? And we're like, yes. And she was like, okay, we're gonna manage his pain a little bit and then we're gonna send him home. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we get back there and he's on fentanyl and Dilaudid and he's wearing a neck brace now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he wearing a neck brace? Come to find out, halfway through his ambulance ride, they called and said, oh, we missed it. He's got a broken neck too. So it was like C3, C4, C5. I don't know what numbers they actually are, but something in his neck's broken too. So they're keeping him on fentanyl and Dilaudid, end up sending him home with like Tylenol. He's miserable. The doctor was just an asshole, pretty much. Like, she talked down to me and like would cut me off when I'm trying to ask her reasonable questions. Like, okay, well, you're sending him home. What the fuck does that mean? Like, so she basically said, so this was pretty much the conversation. When we finally saw her, we saw the insurance people 4 times before we ever saw her. So she comes in and she was like, all right, so he's got a broken neck, his C, whatever. She's like, we're going to send him home with a neck brace. Follow up with the doctor in 2 weeks for that. Okay. And I was like, what about his back? Is that broken? Because we didn't know anything about his neck. And she was like, I'm not done. I'll get there. I'm like, bitch, I will cut you. You ain't my fucking doctor. So then she goes on. She's like, his scapula is broken and he's got some fractures in his arm, but it's a clean break, so it'll probably heal itself. We'll send him home with the sling. And then we sit there, me and dad, because I'm like rubbing his head because he's being a baby and wants his head rubbed. And so she's talking to me and my dad, and my mom's sitting over here. And we're just like, finally dad goes, okay, now for the good part. And she goes, what are you talking about? What good part? I'm just like, so is his back broken? Can I ask you that now? Or are you going to jump my ass again? And she was like, I could stab her in the eyeball with the scapula. Anyway, so his back's broken in like 6 places, but because he doesn't have insurance, he broke them in the best possible places. Yeah, he did. That's what they said. Spine doctor says, oh, it's totally fine. Probably heal itself. Don't worry about it. Don't touch it. Meh, it's fine. So, yeah, dumb bitches. And then, it was a nightmare trying to get him into the car and in his house. I stayed all night with them. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't lay flat. He was miserable, and he had no pain medication. So, I stayed up like till 5 in the morning with him, just talking. And it was terrible because he was talking about all kinds of sad stuff and how proud he is of us and how someday he wants to be at my wedding. And I'm like, oh, stop, Dad. You're okay. You're going to be okay. But it was just kind of a nightmare all weekend. And then Sunday I played video games. Or no. I did play video games. I played Diablo. But I went to D&D, and that was a lot of fun. Kind of relaxed a little bit. Saturday I didn't do anything. I was kind of overwhelmed. I couldn't really sleep much, so Mike came over and we watched Disney movies. And then later Callie came over and we watched Disney movies, so I had some really good friends supporting me. Callie even drove me to the hospital, actually. The first hospital. So kudos to Callie for being awesome. And then, so I was just wrecked from the weekend, and I don't know. I feel like I'm sick all the time because I don't eat healthy, and I'm not a healthy girl. So I wasn't feeling so great yesterday after work, and I was just so tired. I could barely get through the day. And then I got home and I streamed, and that usually kind of wakes me up because I get really excited to hang out with you guys. I kind of feed off the energy that you guys give me when I'm streaming. So everything was fine. I went to bed before my Christmas tree, which means I was tired. My Christmas tree shuts off at 11:30, and I was wrecked. But I had fallen asleep with my phone like in my bed, and it had died in the middle of the night. And then my internet, I didn't pay the bill because I have a hard time paying that bill. Not because I couldn't. I paid it today. It's fine, obviously. But they changed from New Wave to Cable One, and now they just sold again to Sparklight. So it's like pulling teeth to even find out where to pay my bill. Anyway, that's another story. So basically, I wake up to this morning, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I wake up, and I'm not wearing a shirt. I found my shirt, by the way. I just looked over and saw it. I went to bed with the shirt on, and then I woke up, and there's a bruise, like, right here. So I don't know what I was doing, but evidently I was, like, kung fu fighting. There's my camera. It's back. Kung fu fighting in the middle of the night. So it's my coworker Amanda, and she's like, Brandy, what are you doing? I was like, I overslept. She was like, you had us so worried. We thought your heart condition had finally killed you. She thought that I had had like a heart attack in the middle of the night and was like dead, because I never don't show up for work, and I never don't answer my phone because it's attached to me at all times. So that was my day today. No one was upset with me. They just were like, Brandy, like, we thought you were dead. So basically, that's my week. Please, 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 let's hope that this video works. I was kind of mad because I thought I looked cute yesterday, too. So I also worked on Patreon stickers. Those should go out at the end of the week. So if you are level 25 or higher and you do want to be on the stickers, I figured out a way to do them that's way better, maximizes more space, and it's just cuter. I ordered some glossy paper. Last month I did matte, so I'm hoping that it looks a little better. It's gonna be a process. You know, I've only done this for 1 month now. Well, 2, counting this one. So it'll be a little bit of a process, but I'm probably gonna add a little extra something in there just because that's what I like to do. Christmas cards. I do want to send out Christmas cards to anyone that wants them. It doesn't matter what tier you are. You can choose between a regular Christmas card or a little naughty Christmas card. So just let me know, please. Send me a DM. I will need your address, obviously. If you're not comfortable with that, I'll try to figure out e-cards to send them to your email. So that's basically all I have to say, and I will see you guys next week.